Hello and welcome to another episode of That Interview Show. Today I will be interviewing my grandfather, Robert Meyers. This is a hell of a long one, but this is more talking about his earlier years and whatever, during his childhood and being a teenager and whatever, and early years of work and all that stuff. Again, this is in my 4-part thing of interviewing my grandparents, more or less for me to get more of an idea about them and perspective about their lives, but also the information I believe is valuable enough for anyone else to listen to, so I hope you enjoy it. Cool. Alright, well, welcome to another episode of That Interview Show. I'm talking with Robert Meyers, my grandfather, about your early years. So what year was it that, I'll probably go through some very similar questions to that with Nan. So what year was it that you were born?
38. 1938, yeah.
Was it an easy life growing up?
Yeah, we were a very poor family. My dad went to war when I was only a little tacker, and he was 5 years away. So, and my mother lived with her mother and father. So we lived in Princess Street for a long time. My grandmother and grandfather, they had their 50th wedding anniversary, and a week later my grandmother died. So they just got that in. And, Mum and Dad lived with them so Mum could look after her mother and father. And we lived there for quite a long time. My grandfather died when I was about 6, I think, and him and I was his favourite grandson, because we lived together for years, right for those years. Dad come home from the war, and he had war neurosis, which was like nerves and stress and all that sort of jazz. But of course, those soldiers in the Second World War and First Year War never had, were never looked after like the soldiers of today that have got all these problems, like the problems that they had today, our fathers and that had, but they weren't recognised, and they weren't sort of looked after that way. Dad worked at the wharves for a long time as a plumber's assistant, but getting in and out the boats, the coldness of boats played up with him a lot, so he had to get out of that. Anyway, he got a job at Tottenham in a Sea of Motors, and he worked there for quite a long time. He was the first person to retire from there, actually. But we had an open house. You never knew who was coming into our house. People just came in and out. You didn't have him ring up and ask, can I come down or anything like that. People just came, And of course, during the war, a lot of the army chaps used to come to our place because they used to live in the country and they didn't have time to be able to get home in the country because they might have only had a couple of days off or something. So they'd always come to our place, and there'd always be terrific parties, Oh, they had a lot of fun, Boys used to get on the grog a bit. One time, Dad and his mates made some home brew, and it all blew up. It was all dripping off the roof. Home brew was a beer.
Yeah, of course.
Because we used to have this wash house had a very high roof, and all the beer was dropping off the roof. They were all crying. Yeah. We had a lot of fun in those days, and as we grew older, my sister had her friends used to come in and out all the time, and then I had my friends, and we'd be playing baseball And after baseball, we'd all come back to our place because we only lived just up from the baseball field. There's always something to eat or drink, you know. So no one was ever turned away from our place. It was just open house, even though we weren't rich or anything, but we had a lot of fun. And then as we got older, Dad was in a lodge. It was a Druids lodge. And they decided to have a social club, and they formed a social club with members of the lodge, and they used to have dances every fortnight. My dad used to MC the dances. One funny thing that happened to the dance one day, one of the kids was playing up, so Dad got him by the scruff of the neck, and he's throwing him out the door, and as he threw him out the door, he hauled off to kick him in the arse. And he just foot slipped from underneath him, and he finished up on his ass on the concrete. Geez, it was funny. We laughed our heads off. But that's how my sister and I, we learned to dance, because Mum and Dad were good dancers, and I danced with Mum, and my sister danced with Dad. So we learned to be quite good dancers. And this social club sort of built, and they decided to have these picnics. And once a fortnight, they used to have the open furniture vans. The furniture vans used to have seats in them, and we'd all be in the furniture vans. And coming home of a night, sometimes it'd be getting dark, and it'd be all sing-song, all the oldies would sit out up the front of the van, and all the kids would be up the back sort of thing. And we used to sing all the old-time songs and everything, you know, and it became that great. Picnics, but they went from about 2 vans up to about 6 or 7 vans in the finish, and they were, you know, and there was people from everywhere in Yarraville coming to our picnic, and most of the footballers from Footscray that played in their 1954 grand final, a lot of them used to come on our picnics too. Teddy Whitten and his mum and dad and sister and brother, they used to drive in. Ted used to drive the car. The old man had an old black Holden, and they used to drive to the picnics by their car, you know. But they'd meet us at the picnic places, and those picnics were real fun, you know. We had lots of fun. But we'd be, say, going from Melbourne to Frankston in those days in a picnic bus. That was a long trip, you know, not like today. You get in a car to there in an hour and a half an hour, 3/4 of an hour, something like that. And of course, you know, even to come out to Mornington to a picnic, or Ferntree Gully, or up to Geelong, the Eastern Beach. So we used to travel, you know, quite a way with some of the picnics. We had lots of fun. They were really good days. It's actually a song that was brought out by the Celtics, I can't think of their own Celtic singers, and it was remembering the silver and the gold, and it more or less sings and tells you about those old days, the fun they had, you know. Although they didn't have any money, they had lots of fun, you know. And it's the same, it's exactly what we were, you know. And Celtic Thunder, yeah. They were very good. But I didn't like school, hated school. The only thing I liked to do was play sport. I used to like playing sport, didn't like school. I'd rather play sport. My first year was, I had diphtheria, nearly died of diphtheria. My first year, so I missed virtually a year of school. I was in Fairfield Hospital, it was an infectious disease hospital, and it worked out that your nan would have been there just about the same time as me. She had, she didn't have diphtheria, she had some other thing, but we reckon we were around about the same time. So I virtually missed a year for that. A young boy around the corner, he died with it, but I survived. Yeah, then I went through, and then later on I had operations on my bowels, and I missed school with that. I was at school time with that. Big operations on my bowels. So when I got to 6th grade, I was already a couple of years behind, so I decided to go to work. So I got a job in a garage pumping petrol for a couple of years, and then I got offered a job at the woolen mills. I went down there and worked down there for 11 and a half years. Yeah, so wasn't a bad life. We could go dancing in night of the week. There's always a dance somewhere at a school, at a church hall or lodge hall or something like that. Saturday nights there was always big dances, the Arama, or we even used to go to St Kilda Town Hall, Brunswick Town Hall. We used to go all over the place, Sunshine Town Hall. So there was always dances to go to. We used to love going to dances. You always be a heap of us go. And if we all like going to the pictures, yeah. My mate and I used to go to the pictures a fair bit if we wanted to. No, there's always a lot of fun. I knocked around with quite a few different sort of fellas, you know. Yeah, we had a lot of fun. But yeah, so life went on. Till I met Dawn, and 21, got married, and had our family, and lived there ever after.
You did Scouts, didn't you?
Yep. Yeah. A chap I used to work with at ICI and myself, we started up the 11th Sunshine Scout Troop. He was group leader and I was the Scout Master. Or Scout Master in those days, before Scout leaders come in. And we built up quite a good Scout troop. I finished up with 2 good assistant scout leaders, and we became the best troop in the district and the biggest. Some kids were leaving where they were and coming to us because we were having more camps and everything than any of the others. So we built up quite a big troop. And yeah, I followed some of the kids through. I started up with venturer. What used to be senior scouts became adventurers. And I was in the first venturer leaders course that was ever run at Gilmore Park. It was quite interesting because it was the first time they'd run a leaders course for adventurers, and of course there's a lot of experimental stuff in it. And yeah, we had a lot of fun at that. Then later on I got 7 Queen Scouts. First set of twins in Sunshine, but Queen Scouts had them. And then I followed them through and we started up a rover crew as they got older, too old for the ventures. So we had a rover crew. That went for quite a while. Then I decided I took up bowls, lawn bowls. I felt, well, you know, I'd done enough with the Scouts, and I think kids at that age were old enough to look after themselves, I thought. So I took on bowls, so that was my interest. And I played bowls for over 40 years. Met a lot of nice people, a few not so nice, but a lot of funny things used to happen at different times. But the bowling clubs used to always have dances too, so every Saturday night we'd go to a different bowling club. There'd be Seddon, Sunshine, Rosman, Footscray Park. And if it was a 5th Saturday in the month, we'd go down to the RSL Footscray to dance down there. And of course there was a heap of us friends, you know, we'd all go. So we had a lot of fun, and sometimes we'd go to someone's place after the dances and have supper and a bit of a chat and a carry on, you know. And they were good days. We had some really good days. But as our family, we all started having families and that, and then they all started growing up, and people just drifted towards their families more. You know, they'd become grandparents and that sort of thing. And so a lot of that all drifted away in time, and the dances all sort of, people weren't going to the dances anymore, so they stopped nearly all the dances at the bowling club. Then of course then our friends started shifting away different areas and that, so we lost a bit of contact with a lot of them, you know, so yeah, so that family sort of split up and they went the way of their family sort of thing. Missed dancing, it was, we had a lot of fun, but of course then when we sort of decided to shift out of sunshine up to the country, well, there's no more dancing up there, but we still had a lot of fun up at Max Cove because we used to play cards of a night time, and we had a lot of fun playing cards. Because they didn't have television up at Max Cove when we went there first. It wasn't until a few years we've been there, but they got television on up there. But we stayed there for a while and then come back to Healesville. And I got very involved with the Healesville Bowling Club. I think I'd done everything there that'd be a secretary or a treasurer. I was president and done all the sponsorship for them and done a lot of work for them. And then we sort of moved on down here to Capital Cove, and that's where we are now. So in the Rosebud West Bowling Club. That's only just up the road. So yeah, that's about what's going on. Anything else you want to know?
Yeah, I guess more of your like early family life with like your brothers and sisters. How many siblings did you have?
I only had two sisters. One was 4 years older than me, and the other one was 8 years younger, and she was born after the war. The older sister and I were born before the war, and she was born after the war when Dad come home. I think that was a bit of a shock. But I lost my older sister when she was 56. She had a she had a brain hemorrhage sort of thing. And she died. She was as fit as a trout one day and dead the next, which is a bit of a shock to us all. Of course, Mum was still alive, and she was saying, "No, it shouldn't have been Lynette, it should have been me." But Mum went on to be 98. But the last 3 years of her life were not good because she was in a nursing home. She wasn't able to walk. She was as deaf as a post, couldn't hear anything. Her hands were all turned in with arthritis and that. So she had no value of life whatsoever for the last 3 years. She might as well have been gone for 95 and 98. It wasn't very nice to see her in the end. But I used to go up to Wagga. She was in a nursing home at Wagga, and I used to go up by train by myself, and I'd go sit with her in the home and that, you know. And the last time I went, I realised I couldn't talk to her because she sat deaf, and I used to just sit there and read a book. And this day I just looked up and I could see her looking at me, you know. And I realised after she was looking at me for the last time. Yeah, that was the last time I seen her. Yeah. But my dad had a bad ending. His aorta blew out, and he lost that much blood. He was losing that much blood in the bed. They had to push the bed down into the operating theatre, and I seen the bed after, and it was just covered in blood, you know. He'd had one operation on it, and he was going all right, and it went again on him. But then later on, I met a chap, which was not many months after, who had the same thing, but they had found some other way of fixing the arteries. I think they used to use arteries from an animal, pig or something like that. They used to put them in, and he went on all right. He was back playing bowls and everything. Dad was only 68. It was a shame because he'd retired at 65. He could have retired at 60 being in returned soldier, but he didn't have much money and he was quite happy to go on to 65. And he was playing bowls and he was getting really wrapped in playing his bowls, you know. And so he didn't get too many years in playing his bowls, and yeah, 68 he was gone. But the war had taken a lot out of him, of course. Yes, but he was a terrific bloke. My dad was a terrific bloke. Yeah, missed him a lot. I could always still, when I used to go down the drive to their place and they built a nice veranda thing on the back built in, and he used to always lay out there on a sofa and read his paper, you know. And even for months after, I used to walk down there expecting to see him on the sofa, you know, but no, it was sad that he went so quick. But, he'd had a hard life. He was born in Wangaratta, and he rode his bike to Melbourne to one of his sister's places, and that's where he came to Melbourne to live. And he lived with one of his sisters for quite a while till he met Mum and they got married, and yeah, because they finished up at Princess Street. Because then Dad went off to war for 5 years. So but they were very lucky that my grandmother and grandpa sort of had them in their house, like, you know. But I think I was about 18 months old when Grandma died or something. Didn't see much. I was only a little bloke. But Grandpa, I had him up till I was about 6 or 7 or something. He was a Scotsman. He'd come out when he was about 18 from Scotland to live, and he was a tinsmith. And he never lost. He died at about 82, and he never lost his accent. Never lost his Scottish accent. And the lady who married my grandmother, she was born from a English family, which is quite a story and a half, because apparently her mother, they think that she might have come from a well-to-do family, but she got herself in the family way, and they sent her out here to Melbourne, to Australia. And this family in Yarraville took her in. I don't know how it worked out, but they got her whether she only found them when she came out to Melbourne, or the people in England knew them to send her. I don't know how it worked out. But their name was Rogers, and anyway, this great grandmother, she had my grandmother, and she disappeared. great-grandmother, and to this day, they don't know what happened to her. They've tried everything to search my sisters, my cousins, tried everything to research their family. But see, she come out under Smith, but that wouldn't have been her real name. So to this day, even a lot of the family have tried to find her, to find out where she came from and everything. My mother always reckoned that she'd come from a well-to-do family, but didn't want any more to do with, and sent her out, because in those days it was taboo, ladies getting a strike. Yes, so she just disappeared. Anyway, the Rogers family then brought my grandmother up. She was brought up by the Rogers family, and of course the Rogers families were aunties and uncles. They weren't really, but that's how it was in those days. Yeah, even living in Princess Street, the ladies and men that lived there for years, they were all aunties and uncles, you know.
Yeah.
Of course, someone would meet your grandmother. How many grandmas, how many aunties and uncles you got, you know? And then, of course, she realised later on they weren't really, but because we'd grown up with them, because we used to go in here, everyone used to go in everyone's house. You never locked your house. Never thought of your house being robbed in those days. No one, people just went in and out everywhere. And so they were all aunties and uncles, but the Rogers families always were aunties and uncles. But so they were quite close. Uncle Darryl, he was Australian. He was a lovely man. He's only a little fellow. Dad used to call him Titch. And he and Dad used to go, and Dad was about 6 foot. Titch was only so big. But my dad always seemed to get on well with little fellas, you know, because they used to go to the lodge together, and he finished up living in our place with his sister, Auntie Linda. Auntie Linda was like a cripple. She had, her feet were all, her toes were all under. She used to have to wear special boots and everything. She never ever got married, but she lived for years on top of a shop in Yarraville, and there was a stairway you used to go around, and we used to think it was great fun going around there and get down to her place, and then because she'd look out the window, you see all the shops in Yarraville and that. But she had to get out because this mob bought all the houses and turned it into a big shop. Woods was a drapery shop on one side, and Cons, I think it was, had the one where Auntie Linda and Uncle Darryl used to live with her, because that was a funny case. He was actually married with four kids, but he never lived with them. And they more or less lived across the road from the back lane where he used to go to Auntie Linda's place. And his wife and mother-in-law and the 4 kids used to live in there. But he was living with his sister. And it was a funny setup. So I don't know. But so we never met much of those kids. But they could be still around somewhere. But Uncle Darryl, he was a really very clean man. His shoes were always polished up high. Because when Auntie Linda had to get out of, so they came, my mum and dad had a little flatette in Princess Street. Because my sister, when she got married, she lived there for a while. Then I had another auntie and uncle lived there, which were real aunties and uncles. They lived there for quite a while. Then Auntie Linda and Uncle Darryl came there. Now what happened there? I don't know why they left there. I don't know what happened there. Anyway, then after them, this couple come to see Mum and Dad one day, and she was a war bride. She'd married this American chap, and they'd come back to Melbourne because they were looking somewhere to live, and they'd somehow found out about our place, and they had a little boy with them. Anyway, they came to live in the flatette, And they were there for many years. They used to go on our picnics and everything with us, and little boy. And she brought like refrigerators and things over, but because the electricity was different in America than here, she used to have they used to have transformers for them.
Mm.
And she brought this washing machine in, and what it used to have like a rubber liner. And when it was finished the washing and to dry them, this rubber liner would go in and squash all the thing to get the water out. I've never seen another one since. Never seen anything like it. They have got washing machines out now, but where they don't have an agitator in the centre. Because when we went to buy this one not long ago, but yeah, so they brought things out from America that were never ever seen here. But and Mary and Lou lived with us for a long time, and he was a terrific bloke, Louis. Really, yeah. He was during the war. He was in Melbourne, and they were billeted. Oh, where was it? Oh, right. Well, Albert Park or somewhere. Or anyway, somewhere they had the. Anyway, there was this chap that used to be with them. He used to always come home and from being out of camp, on leave sort of thing. And he used to come home and brag about these women that he knocked off, and of course they all used to laugh at him, he's a dickhead,
Mm.
And anyway, next thing the police come in, he knocked off about 5 bloody Australian girls. They hung him very smartly, the Yanks hung him very smartly. Yeah. They thought he was a nutcase, and they just didn't take any notice of him. Yeah, he was knocking these shields off. Yeah, a real arsehole. But, yeah. But Louis was a chef, and when they finally got their own house, which is around the corner from where we lived, they had a pet lamb. Anyway, got the stage where all this meat came into the fridge. And I said, "What's all this, mate?" Louis had to knock the lamb off. They wouldn't eat the meat because it came from their pet lamb. Oh, yeah, funny. Yeah, it was, we had good times, yeah. And of course, we lived only up the park from, our park was just at the end of our street, so always played football and cricket and that sort of thing. And there was always somewhere for a lark we'd go down there, and a lot of the lovers would get down there, and they'd be in amongst the trees and ask kids to go down and frighten shit out of them. The fellas would be chasers with pulling their pants up, It was unreal. Oh, dear. Yeah, we had a lot of fun. Yeah, because the scouts I went to was just round the corner too, so we had good times there. The kids, it's different. Like we used to be able to play cricket and football in the street because our street was pretty wide. But there was hardly ever a car. Like in those days, you'd be lucky if there was 3 cars in the whole street.
Mm.
Now there's virtually 3 cars for everybody's house.
Mm.
So yeah, we used to play cricket and footy in the street, and that sort of thing. But the iceman come along, and he'd take a block of ice in because you had ice chests then, and the iceman come in with a big block of ice and put it in the ice chest. Because when it all melted, it'd go down a pipe into a tray at the bottom, and then you'd have to empty that out all the time. So when the iceman would go in with a block of ice, all the kids would be in the back getting the chips of ice out of the back, Yeah. And of course, in those days, the milkman, he delivered the milk. You put a billy out on your veranda, and he'd come in with a can, and he'd fill your billy up. And of course, when my eldest sister was courting her husband, my dad, they'd be on the sofa and my dad would sit in the middle of them. he wouldn't let them get near us. Then when it was starting getting late, Dad would say, about time you went home, Bruce. On your way out, put the billy out, will you? So by the time Lynette and Bruce got to the veranda, Dad was at the front door. Time you came in, lad. Yeah, when my sister came home, when she got away with everything, you know. Oh, yes. Yes. But we used to have fun. A lot of Bruce's mates used to come down there, and they'd all get in the backyard and try a little paper football thing. We used to roll paper up and tie it up with string, and that we kicked that around as a football. And of course, all these mates of Bruce, they'd all get in the backyard and they'd be playing bloody football, and they'd have these beautiful Fletcher Jones trousers on them. They'd be covered in grass stains and things. Oh, they had a lot of fun. One time they were mucking around in the lounge room and the sofa went through the floor. You know, oh God, they were mad. They were mad times. We used to get beehives used to come. We had a quince tree, and the bees used to love there and make a hive, you know. Anyway, these big smart boys thought, oh, they could be behind this rug and they'll sneak up on the bees. And the bees got on the rug and broke up there, and they took off. And another time they came there, and Bruce's brother-in-law, he had a little band of motorbike. So Dad knew of a bee bloke that lived down Newport or somewhere. So he said to Bruce, oh, give us a lend your motorbike, I'll go down and get this bee bloke. Well, my brother used to be pretty stingy, so he used to only put a penny's worth of petrol in. So by the time Dad got halfway down there, the thing run out of petrol, because he'd have to push the bloody thing over, and he blew shit out. Bloody Bruce was so stingy. Oh, no, bad times. Yeah, had a lot of fun. Yeah. There's always heaps of people at our place. You never know who. You'd walk in and there'd be bloody people everywhere. But aunties and uncles and cousins and neighbours, yeah. Just open house. You know, no one knew if anyone was coming or not. But there always seemed to be a feed there for someone. There always something there. But, of course, in those days, the women done nearly all their own cooking, all the cakes and biscuits and all that sort of thing. But see, in those days, that you went to a grocery shop and they used to have tins of biscuits, and then they'd take this out and weigh them, and there'd always be heaps of broken biscuits. So you could buy a bag of broken biscuits for a penny or something like that, or they'd give them to you. You know, that's of course all that. Because the butter in those days would be a big slab, and they'd have these like paddle things, and they just sort of cut into the butter and paddle them and wrap them up, and that you took them home. You just didn't go in the butter wasn't in dippers like they got now, or wrapped in paper. It's how it was. They just took it off this big slab, and cheese and all that sort of same thing. So it was a different world altogether. Different world altogether. Because now, see, I could go to a dance, I could take a girl home. Say this was Footscray, I'd take a girl home to West Footscray. And of course, by the time we got home and mucked around, by the time coming to the trams, you couldn't get a tram anymore. So I'd be walking home. He'd be walking home, and the milky come along with his horse and cart. He'd say, "Where you going, lad?" "Oh, down to Seddon." "Oh, I'm going that way, jump on," and then give you a bottle of milk to drink. But that's sort of thing that happens, see, that you don't get any of that. So you could walk home at any hour of the night and you'd never think of being mugged or, or followed or anything like that. It just wasn't on. Because my first bike and my first radio I got was through selling newspapers. I used to sell newspapers. Where the Footscray Town Hall used to be railway gates. I used to sell papers there. Then I had a round on my bike. Used to go around to houses and throw the thing. And then I worked in the paper shop before school for a while. Just how I got my first bike and my first radio was through selling papers. Saved up my money and bought them.
Was that your first job, writing, doing the papers?
That was only a part-time after school.
Mm.
Yeah, after school. But my first job was when I left school at 14. I worked in a garage for 2 years, just greasing cars and pumping petrol and so forth. Just helping gradually in the garage, and doing punches and that sort of thing. Mm. Then I got a chap used to come into the garage, and it was actually the father-in-law of it. Now his daughter used to live in our street in Princess Street, and we sort of knew him, but he had a son-in-law worked at the woolen mills, and he was after an apprentice. So this old fella come in one day, and I think he was pretty impressed with how I used to work in the garage, you know, how I treated people and that. He said, oh, son-in-law's looking for a boy for the woolen mills, you know. And I went down there and I got the job. You know, I trained down there and finished up with my own set of looms and girls. I had about 5 girls working on the looms. So that went on until about 11.5 years, and then they sold the mills from under us. What happened was the Japanese were taking our wool over to Japan. They were dyeing it and spinning it cheaper than what we were making in our mills here. So that's shut down. A lot of the mills here all was shut down. A lot of mills shut down. So yeah, we all had to go out and look for other jobs. Because I had 2 young kids at that stage. So, yeah. Oh, we got by. A lot of things we went without. We never bought anything unless we could afford it. Yeah. So we got by. Got everything we've got to our own.
Yeah.
We mightn't have much money, but at least everything's ours. Mm. And that's the main thing, because I think most of the older people that are struggling today are ones that, you know, were renting houses and all that sort of thing, because they haven't had any money to save, or they had hard times if something's happened to them, you know. Some of them just careless with their money too, I suppose. And now they're screaming and yelling, they're not getting looked after, but they didn't look after themselves in the first place, a lot of them. So then a lot of them had bad times where their partner might have been very sick and you know, they didn't have much money coming in, sort of thing. And so some of them really had hard times, that's right. But it's sad to see all these people that living on the streets these days. It's not very nice to be walking in the main streets of Melbourne and that and seeing these people sprawled all along the footpaths, sleeping. What makes me mad though, like one time I went in town, and a bloke come up to me and was begging, you know, and I won't give him any money. Anyway, a woman come up first, she wants some money. Then the bloke came up and I said, why don't you go and get a bloody job and earn some money? Do yourself some money. But what made me mad was they both had cigarettes. They were both smoking cigarettes. They could afford a pack of cigarettes, but they couldn't afford a couple of bob to go and buy a bloody feed, you know? Mm. That's what made me mad. Of course, they get it there on the drink. They can go and buy a bloody bottle of drink and that. Mm. But see, they got to a stage where they just can't handle it, and they're ratchet. In fact, I was surprised one day. I was walking past the hotel in town. Young and Jackson's on the corner, faces the Flinders Street station, And an old school friend I used to work with, or just at school, he was out on the footpath drunk. And I was just, surprised. But you never know. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's...
Yep. So the old girl and I have got 59 years up on Wednesday.
Mm.
And there's not many of our kids are going to make that. Well, Stephen might never make it.
What, 59 years for the whole...
No, your father and mother won't get... Most likely won't get it.
How long have they been together? Like 22 years? Yeah. Oh, it's possible.
A long way to go.
Yeah. Still.
They'll be pretty old by the time they get there.
Oh yeah, but they'll have enough advanced medicine these days to...
Mm.
they'll be half robot.
Yeah, not many of them get to 50 or 60 years.
Mm.
No, you see in the paper today, there's a lot of them. They've got up to 60 years, but they're all around our age, 80 or more.
Mm.
But there's a few more living to the 100 now, because I think with the medication they've got these days, keeps a lot of people alive. And I really think in some ways that some of the old people, these doctors experiment with them. You don't know what you're getting off the doctors these days.
Mm.
They could be giving you medicine and you think, oh well, you know. But they must know, well, we know which way you're heading, we'll try you on this, you know. I'm telling you, you get to a stage where I think sometimes it's a mistake to have the one doctor for a long time, because you get to a stage where you go to the doctor, oh yeah, he knows you've got a crook back or something, so just gives you the painkillers for your back and off you go. But we've moved, say, from Mansfield to Hillsville, and the doctor up at Mansfield gave us certain tablets and things. When we get down to Hillsville, Dr. Dennis says, what's he got you on these for? We didn't have to be on them at all. You know, so like, you go to the different doctor and next time you go in there and they're used to seeing you, they just give you a script and that's it. And then of course when you move on to another doctor, what's going on here?
Mm.
Then they'll take you off a heap of tablets, they give you another heap of tablets, something like that, you know.
Mm.
Yeah, so that's the way life is these days. But it's, what I miss is the fact that your home's not a home anymore, like when we lived in Princess Street as kids.
Mm.
It was a home. Everyone came in and out. You didn't know who you were going to have in there from one day to the next. Yeah?
Mm.
Dad's army cobbers had lobby Anzac Day. Come down from the bush. Where did they come? They come by the stay at our place. And they'd all go off to the Anzac March and have a reunion after and back to our place, then back to the country after, you know. And you just never knew who was going to come in from one day to another.
Mm.
And of course, Dad had a lot of relations live in the country. Mm. He came from Wangaratta, and a lot of his family lived up in Corryong and Albury and places like that. And next thing, an uncle had rolled in the door, and he had a son that had been in a car accident. The car had hit his car. And in those days, some of the spare wheels were put into the mudguards. So they'd be in the mudguard instead of wider car. Mm. And you'd have this part here, and your spare wheel would be here. Mm. And when he got hit, the spare wheel shot up and he had his elbow out the window. So that arm became useless. Mm. But they used to have to come down to the doctors because they stayed at our place. So you just didn't know. And then there'd be Dad's other cousins that had children who would come down there. One girl coming down to do nursing. So she lived at our place for a while. So you never knew who'd be coming in and out. So, but see today, now see this bloody woman here. She's caused too much bloody trouble. This is not a happy place to live in here. It's not a happy place. We just keep it ourselves. Because no, you're going to... I mean, I stopped two blokes from having a fight there one day. I had to get in between two of them. But, which was possibly a silly thing to do. I might have got clobbered myself, but if I hadn't of it, there would have been a real big problem, I think. One bloke was ready to kill the other one. Then you just try to do things around the place and different ones saying, oh, didn't tell us we were doing that, and you can go to the body corporate. So I don't do nothing. I told them straight. The day I turn 80, I do nothing outside my place. I don't. I should do a lot. I painted all that toilet out there. One even not complain about that, but you wasn't told that I got to paint or I got the paint through the body corporate or whatever, you know. No, nothing now. I don't do nothing for any of them. So just me and the missus, and that's it. Go over, I'll get my fun over at the bowling club. Have a lot of fun over there, you know, the fellas. Yeah, got him a couple of nice blokes. We play every Wednesday together. It's quite funny because one of them, his father used to work in the woolen mills with me years ago. But when he found this out, he had a brother and couldn't get home. We're going to ring his brother up and say, hey, come to the bowling club, work with our dad. And the thing was, they used to live in the same street as the woolen mills. So we become good friends. But he's got a big family. He came from a big family. You know, he got a big family himself. But he's done very well for himself as a builder. And he's had hotels and he's done very well for himself. He's a real nice guy. Do anything for you. And he's a died in the World Footscray supporter. He gets membership every year. And all around his place is full of Footscray stuff. Yeah.
How long have you been supporting the Bulldogs? Obviously before they were called the Bulldogs.
Yeah, Footscray.
Yeah. How long? When did you first start supporting them?
When I was born.
So was it a family thing, like you, your dad? Yeah.
Dad and Mum. Yeah, because when we won our flag in '54, with Mum and Dad, Nancy, my younger sister, and myself. I don't think the elder sister was there. But in those days, you had to line up. So you had to be there earlier to line up and go in and get seats. And I tell you, that day, you could have robbed any house in Footscray because I was all the MCG. We had the local butcher with us, and we had the Sterling's, the tailors down in Footscray, they were with us. Oh, that was unreal. Yeah, because after it, everyone amalgamated at the Footscray Town Hall, and they had Charlie Sutton with the mayor's robes, chains on, and it was good fun. Yeah. But I didn't think I was ever going to see another one, but we did, which I'm quite pleased. It's a shame they never went on with it though. So after the first one, they had trouble. They reckoned there was a lot of money given out which was supposed to be given to the footballers, but it didn't go to the footballers. Others pocketed it, of course it couldn't be proved. Of course, a lot of the players said, "Oh, stuff them." They only play for half a quarter, half a game or something like that. They went, yeah, so, and they threw out a side but went on and won more, but because of this bloody money trouble, which is a shame, because they had some good football. They were nearly all local boys too. The biggest majority of the team was local boys. Yeah. So one of our top players died only a month or so ago. Peter Box, he won the Brownlow medal. Played in the centre for the grand final. I think he came from Canberra or something. Yeah.
Cool. I think that's I think that's enough. Yeah.
Yeah, I've had plenty of fun here with.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll make sure I'll include some shots of this stuff in it, so yeah.
That there is my grandmother. One we live with. He was with Footscray and he was also with Yarraville too. A lot of these blokes are dead now. This bloke's gone, he's gone. I don't know about him. He's gone, and he's gone. Yeah. This bloke here, and this bloke, my best friends up at Heelhook, they're both gone now. I think I was the first one to get one of those in the modern era. And that was the first year we won that pennant. First year it became Bowls Victoria. It changed from the Royal Victorian Bowling Association. So it hasn't got the Royal in it anymore. That's, yeah, Bowls Victoria. So things have changed. Like that was in Scouts. When I got my wood badge, I was the first leader at Levenson trying to get my wood badge. I spent a year and a half at Yarra Glen. We won a flag there and a runner-up. So, a couple of them actually came from, these two actually came from Hillsville, the same as me. Table tennis. I used to, it was at the Woolen Mill, and yeah, got free flags. I was the secretary. I used to run the table tennis at Woolen Mills. Yeah, this bloke's passed on very early. He married they used to work in the Woolen Mills. And he was a terrific guy, and he married a young Maltese girl from the Woolen Mills, and he didn't last much longer. He passed on.
I think I'll stop the recording now.
Oop. I moved out.
Cool. Well, thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching another episode of That Interview Show. This is the last interview I've conducted with my grandparents, Dawn and Robert Meyers. This being the one with Robert Meyers. He's the individual one. If you want more interviews with them, I guess you could comment, but I don't really know what else I could talk to them about. I mean, I'm pretty content, like 4 interviews, I think it's pretty good. So if you want to find those interviews, they're all in the That Interview Show playlist. I also have many more interviews with many different people, not just relatives, but also friends. But like, what I mean is like, there's more topics about more broader things like sexuality and gender and social issues and stuff like that. So feel free to check them out. If you have an idea of what I could talk about next, feel free to, comment down in the description, comment down in the comments, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.